did was we did some progressive muscle activation. Oh, Lisa, you were here too, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to work pretty much every single one of our muscles in our bodies, moving from toes upwards. And then we're going to do some classical Pilates moves. And I'm going to show you what the classical version is. And if you want to try it, feel free. And then I'm going to give you adaptations for it as well, so you can explore how it feels for your body. Okay, so as we always do, we get settled with our breath. So you could do this lying down or sitting up, whatever feels better to you. And today, I know it gets it's a bit anxiety provoking making noise, isn't it? But today, if you feel comfortable, I would love it if you could make some audible breath sounds. So what we're going to do is we're going to breathe deeply in and then go like that. So it's just breathing out really loud. So it's not quite lion's breath, which is which is great fun. We're doing and letting that air out, okay? If you feel super uncomfortable, you can mute yourself, or you can wave to me like this and I will mute you, okay, if you need help. So I don't want you to feel at all uncomfortable with this. Okay, so get yourself settled and as comfortable as you can. That's it. And we're going to take a deep breath in and then sigh out. And when you sigh out, notice that when you sigh, you might have a little bit of extra you can sigh out afterwards. So breathing deeply in and then sigh out. And if you want to close your eyes, feel free. Or you could just soften your gaze as you breathe deeply in. Allow the sigh to come out. Just letting Maddie in. Breathing deeply in. And as you breathe in, really concentrate on filling up those lungs. That's it. We're expanding the rib cage as you breathe in. And then sigh out. And let's do one more big one. And then allow your breathing to settle into a normal, slow, deep but gentle breathing. And start connecting with your body. Feel how you might feel a little bit energized through the oxygenation of your body.
Lift up.
And you might feel like you've released tension. So we do this to just prepare our bodies to move and get our brains in the right place. And then when you're ready, we're going to lie down. And remember, you can keep yourself semi-propped up if it's better for you. Maddie, welcome. Really good to have you here.
Hiya, sorry I'm late.
It's all good. Are you okay?
I'm on my phone.
Oh, bless you. Are you all right, though?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good.
Okay, so we're lying down. We're going to start with some very gentle pelvic tilts, tilting pubic bone to nose, lifting up the belly button a little bit, so it's like you're pulling it up your body and down towards your spine, and then releasing the belly button, tilting pubic bone away from you. And you could use your breath for here, so breathe in to prepare. Exhale, breathe out to tilt pubic bone to nose, and breathe in to tilt pubic bone to toes. Breathing out to contract the tummy muscles very lightly and breathing in to enable them to relax. Nice deep breaths. And then allow your pelvis to settle somewhere in the middle. And we're going to draw our shoulders up towards the ceiling, so press them upwards and then release. So it's up this way, it's like you're lifting the shoulders up off the bed and then release. And then you could do the same here. So if you wanted to bring your hands above your head, you could do the same, but lift your hands up. So your shoulders are sliding up and down. Just depends. If you're POTC or MCASI, sometimes this can be a bit too much. And keeping the arms down might be better for you today. See if you can isolate the movement, maybe do one at a time. So with your hands up or down, whatever feels better to you. You could even do a mixture of both and take breaks in between. So gently reaching and returning, and reaching and returning. Looks nearly the same with the arms down. And then relax the shoulders and bring your head to a central position. And I'd like you to imagine you're going to trace the shape of a spiral, gently getting bigger and bigger with your nose. And when I say bigger and bigger, I don't mean huge, I just mean progressively tiny bit bigger than before, like you're spiraling outwards and then spiraling back in towards the centre. And let's see if we can work our brain now to spiral the other way. So you've created the spiral in the opposite direction, which is really hard when you can't really remember which direction you did in the first place. And let's spiral back in towards the centre. That's it. And then from here, gently sway the knees side to side. Nice and smooth and slow. In an ideal world, it's better for your back to keep your knees slightly bent when you're lying down. But as with everything, our bodies are different. So if you feel better having your legs lengthened, maybe even putting a pillow underneath your knees, that's fine too. So it's basically just working out what is better for your body. Some of you are lucky enough to have gorgeous bolsters or giant pillows that you can put under your knees. Okay, so we're moving into progressive muscle activation and we're going to use our breath with this. So we're going to activate on an in-breath and release on an out-breath. And we are starting with our toes. So we're going to breathe in and scrunch the toes up and then breathe out, flex them backwards. So see if you can spread the toes as well. So we're breathing in, scrunching them up. Now with this, especially if you have something like EDS or hypermobility, we tend to go a bit gung-ho over these moves. We really want to go to our biggest extreme. But in your head, I want you to think gentle. So you just, I know I'm using the word scrunch, but it's just that gentle, clenching them a little bit and then flexing them a little bit. So you're moving between the two, but you're not going to your fullest potential. That's it. And then we're going to bend at the heel, breathing in, and then breathe out as we bend the other way. So if your legs are bent, it'll look like this, breathing in, And breathing out. If your legs are lengthened, it'll look like this, breathing in and breathing out. And then allowing your feet to relax. And legs bent or straight, I'd like you to clench the thighs. Once again, not to your fullest ability. So you're clenching those thighs. You're just trying to get the quads to activate a little bit and then release. So you're clenching just a touch, nothing hard. And release. And this can be done obviously with your knees bent too, clenching. And release. Breathing in and clenching. And release. That's it. And at this point you might need to reset to your body because all this clenching down here might have scrunched up your spine upwards a little bit. So you might need to lift your pelvis and reset it back down to touch. Okay, now we're going to tense the buttocks and we're going to go one at a time. So I'd like you to push one foot down into the bed and squeeze that side of the buttock and then release. And then push the other foot down into the bed, squeezing the buttock and release. If you're feeling like you can't just squeeze one and you're squeezing both, that's okay as well. So just keep thinking of the one buttock for now. And in time, that's it. You'll notice you can actually feel the difference. So once again with the breath, breathing in as we push. Exhale as we release. Breathing in as we push. Exhale as we release. That's it. And let's go for a squeeze of both. Squeeze both, breathing in. And then exhale, release it all. Breathing in and squeezing. And exhale. Give me one more. That's it. Okay, now I'm going to really confuse you and switch your breath. Okay, so we have been breathing in to tense and breathe out to relax, which is the opposite to activating our tummy muscles. So now we're going to activate our tummy muscles by breathing in to release them and breathing out to contract them. Now, contracting them is also another strong word like clenching and scrunching. But I want you to think of this contraction as like a gentle, just drawing together of the muscles as you breathe out. And then breathing in, let them float open like a flower. That's it. So imagine the petals closing as you breathe out. And then breathing in, imagine the petals opening again. That's it. And I'm doing this really audible breathing to help you know when I'm breathing, but if you can do all this in and out through your nose, even better. And then, once again, gently sway the knees side to side, let those muscles relax. That's it. Sam, did you cope with that one okay?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, coming up our bodies, we're going to go to our chests now. So bring the hands together, elbows out, and I'd like you to press them together. So you're pressing the heels of your hands together, pressing the fingertips together, making sure you keep your fingers in joint, and then release. So we're going to switch the breath again. This time I'm going to breathe in to press and breathe out to release. So breathing in to press, lightly press. Breathe in to release. And notice when you're pressing, see if you can feel all your fingertips pressing towards each other, just very lightly, including your thumb and your little finger. Breathing it out to release. See when you next press the hands if you can feel each of the knuckles touching each other as well. So one more. And then you could bring your hands to your sides. And we're going to close the hands, scrunch them gently, breathing in, breathing out, opening them up. Breathing in and breathing out. This takes me back to primary school. Did anyone else do open and shut them?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I just want to go give a little clap. Oh yeah, it's my brain. It's terrible behaviour. One more. And then we're going to press the arms down into the bed. So very lightly, once again, breathing in to press. Feel the shoulder blades helping you as well as you press downwards. And then breathe out to relax. Just breathing in to press. Breathing out to relax. So breathing in to press. Breathing out. And one more. Breathing in to press. And breathing out to relax. And while you're here, gently sway the knees side to side. That's it, just sometimes too long on the back can make us uncomfortable, so this feels nice. Okay, this is my favourite one. So we're going to breathe in and scrunch the face. Okay, so we're going to go, and then we're going to breathe out and make a really surprised face. But be careful with your jaw. Okay? So you're going to have a really open, lovely face, but you're not going to open your mouth so wide that your jaw gets stuck. So breathing in, give me your best scrunchy face, like a cat's bum. And then open up, nice and wide, but gently. Almost lion's breath, this one. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. That's it. And then just allow all the muscles to relax. So lie here in that blissful state of knowing that you've activated almost every muscle in your body. And if you did nothing else all day, you've already done some strengthening and mobility. And a lot of these moves that we did today are called static holds. And static holds are very effective at getting muscles to contract and strengthen, but without the risk of injury as well. So they're great for people who have been sedentary for a long, long time, and they're just getting used to doing things and getting the muscles starting to wake up a bit. Right, turning the page, moving on to the classical adapted Pilates moves. And we're going to start with single leg stretch. Now we've been on our backs a long time now, so if you need to at any point, just roll over to soothe things, or sit up, or do pelvic tilts, or sway the knees, anything that helps you feel better, do feel free, because this is your class, so make it what's good for you. Okay, I'm going to show you the classical Joseph Pilates version of the single leg stretch first, and then show you the adaptations. And you can choose whichever version you want to do. So this is the series of 5 that I really love because it really gets your heart rate up and it really works these abdominal muscles. So the classical version is where you would reach your hand to the outside thigh and your hand to the opposite knee and look down towards your pubic bone, and you would try and level up your feet so they're the same height. And this would be level with the floor. So that's a very classical presentation of single leg stretch. And then it would be a swap, pushing and pushing, okay? Now that is a lot, especially if people aren't used to moving. And that, I can really feel it. I can feel my neck feeling a little bit strained, so I need to be careful of my position when I'm doing it. And also what I notice is any position where your chest is up and your knees are up can create or lessen the space here for breath, especially if you have a tummy. Okay, so it means your lungs are a little bit compressed. So that's another reason why this can make you quite breathless. So if you want to do that version, you would be so welcome. If you want to do an adaptation version, you could hug a knee in towards your chest and lengthen the leg to the sky. And then swap. And here you might want to use what you've got available to you. So you might have leggings that can support you to hold on. You could use a belt if you've got a belt. I'll show you if I can find my belt. Where did I put it there? So if you had a belt, you would do one at a time. That's it. And then you would swap.
Can't do either of those, Leanne, so can I just put one leg up in the air?
Of course,
Do that.
that's perfect. That's another option. The other option, as Lisa has beautifully mentioned, you could keep one foot on the floor and you could bend and lengthen and return. That's it. And while you're doing them, whichever version you're choosing to do, keep breathing for me. And what's great was using all the same muscles, because to lift the leg up in the air, to stop your pelvis dipping side to side, you'll have to use your tummy muscles a bit. That's it. Now, Joseph Pilates was a real stickler for form. And there's a quote that he said something like, there's no point doing any exercise unless you do it properly. So he would probably roll over in his grave right now if he saw us doing what he introduced. But actually we are making it work for our bodies and we're still benefiting beautifully.
He also wasn't a woman.
No, he
No.
wasn't a woman, and he didn't have any massive long-term health conditions like us. I mean, he did have a few, but not like us. Katie, did you ever read any of his books?
Not, no. I
They're-
ought to.
Yeah, they're absolutely fascinating. Return to Life is a really, really good one.
Yeah, I'll look it up. Thank you.
There we go. And there's another book by one of his apprentices who knew him for years and years and years, and it's called The Caged Lion. And I downloaded that one on Audible, and that gave a really amazing insight into Joseph Pilates and what an incredibly eccentric and cool and, yeah, amazing person he was. And I loved that one because it was nice hearing someone actually read their own book.
I listened to a podcast about him, but it didn't paint him in the best light. There were a few dubious things he did, so that I listened to, which was quite interesting.
Yeah, we can imagine. Okay, the next one is well, we've done the single leg stretch. The next one is the double leg stretch. We're going to do it without the legs. I'm going to show you the classical version, and then I'll show you the version without the legs, because we've been moving our legs quite a lot. So the classical version, you'll notice when I do these, I always use my legs to lift up my chest, because it helps me get into that right position here. And the classical version is reaching, breathing in, exhale and swoop, breathing in, exhale and swoop. And the idea with this one is keeping the back completely still, so it's still pressed into the mat even when your arms and legs are in opposite directions. It's really hard, isn't it, Katie? Can you feel it?
It's hard.
Besides the basic thing of how do I coordinate my arms and legs, which seems to have been lost with me at the moment, it's the squats thing. I am making progress with the arms, but it's like millimeters every week, being
Yeah.
able to do a little bit more. So yeah, that's that. I'll aim for that in 6 months' time.
So that's the classical version. For those of you who want to give it a go, we could just do the legs and we could breathe in, exhale and swoop. Breathing in, exhale and swoop. I mean, obviously we've got things around us like headboards and pillows and stuff as well, and lampshades. So luckily I can't see any cats that are going to get a head whack. That's it. So this one also requires a lot of stabilization, because as you reach the arms backwards, the back will want to arch away from the mat. That's it. And if arms above head is getting too tiring, you could bring them down, breathing in, exhale and swoop. Breathing in, exhale and swoop. So let's do one more if we want to. That's it.
Oh, something's clunking. I don't know what it is. I can't work out what it is. I think there might be two things that are clunking.
If something's clunking, Chloe, try not to do too much wiggling like that.
Yeah.
Because what we really want to do is just squirm things back into place, isn't it?
Yeah.
What you could do is try and relax and breathe, and then maybe turn your head side to side and see if you can just get things to relax, and they might just then settle back where they need to be. It's that, I see it a lot and I do it myself a lot as well. It's that squirming, trying to get things to feel right again.
Yeah, it's that panic, isn't it? I think you think, no, not today.
Right, single leg stretch, another cardio move for you. I'll show you the classic first, which is this, where we go push, push, reach, or pull, pull, reach. So that's the version. That's it. And this, your chest would be lifted. You can obviously do this with your chest down, but I'd advise not reaching the leg quite so low. And then we try and look after our knees by not putting our hands either side of the joint. It's just above or below instead. So that is the scissors. An adaptation is lengthening one leg, pointing the heel to the sky, going point, point, point down. Flex up and down. That's quite a nice neural stretch as well, you might notice as you do it. For those of you who are resting and looking after your bodies, huge kudos to you. That's it.
It's not that I want to rest, I just can't physically do those because of my sciatic nerve is so tight.
Yeah.
I can't physically do them.
And actually, you've done that one already, Lisa, haven't you?
Not really.
I think you're doing the right thing, Lisa.
I just can't do them, sorry.
Yeah, for now. And also too much too soon. So it's being really nice.
Just before the class, I yanked my hip really badly.
Oh no.
Down, and I just tripped and yanked my hip as I sat down, and not fun.
No. And then when you're ready, gently sway the knees side to side. Okay, I'm going to show you one more, just so then you've got the 5, and then we need to stop because we've been lying around for ages on our backs. So the next one is the crisscross. I'll show you once again the classical version, and then I'll show you the gentler versions. So the classical is where you reach the knee and the chest, it's the shoulder, towards each other, and you swap. So this is the crisscross, as you swap and swap, okay? Adaptations. Knee towards opposite shoulder and return. Knee towards opposite shoulder and return. So that's one version. Good. Sorry about my doggy. And then you could try the other version with the chest, rolling over towards one elbow and return. So you're introducing the flexion and rotation at the same time. If putting your hands behind your head doesn't work for you, you could do this instead. And do it here, keeping your chin very lightly tucked. That's it. Well done.
How do you stop your neck muscles getting too involved in all of this?
It's a classic issue with Pilates, Katie, is neck muscles feeling like they're going like this. So there's lots of things you can do. The most important thing is as soon as you start them feeling like they're activating, rest, take a break. You can even move pillows and turn your head side to side. So what's happening is often, there's two different things. It could be the way we're holding our head, but it could also be your muscles are getting tired, and so the bully muscles, the ones that like to take over, get involved instead. Okay, so that's often what's happening. Or it's posture, you're not just quite holding the head in the right position. And there's a way that you can strengthen that by the 1, 2, 3 method, which is the hover above as 1, 2 as a tuck, and 3 roll. And that generally gives you the right lift for your head to stop you feeling too much strain, and then rolling back and taking a break, turning your head side to side, and then trying again. Okay, so it takes time. I still get it, Katie. If I forget what I'm doing, or if I'm getting really tired here, then this happens. There's other things you can do, like some people in classes always use a cushion behind their head to lift, and then they're resting their head in the cushion, but the chest and the tummy are taking the work. Or mats. But I hate the mat. I don't like doing the mat for my head or neck, because I feel like it compresses my neck.
I can't help get the feeling that if there's been so much dysfunction around the hips and the back because of so much pain and issues around there, maybe like the abdomen and the womb and all of that area, that we develop this kind of overuse of the neck thing to almost try and avoid using all of those muscles down there, or if they don't coordinate very well. So I wonder if it just goes back to like having to just strengthen all of that first.
More than likely, and it's also, so everyone, if you want to sit up, by the way, feel free, or roll over onto your side. It's also sometimes we're too tense, so we might be too tense there, and it might be lifting all the way up into your neck. So it might not be about the strengthening, it might be about the learning how to allow the muscles to switch off too. Which is why I'm always going on about breath. Yeah, and activating our muscles with our breath. So you all did the classical 5, and they're, I think, the hardest 5. There's some moves that I will never do with you in Pilates, because there's 34 classical Pilates moves that Joseph Pilates created, and he got people to do it all in one go really fast. And the ones I don't like are where the bum is lifted above your head and you're bringing your legs over your head, and I don't like them. I don't think they're great for us, so we don't tend to do those. So, I'm going to do a gentle side stretch, and then a couple of these cat and cows, and then if you want to stay for a chat, feel free. Okay, so let's do a gentle side stretch, reaching up and over. If you're lying down, you could sway your knees towards one side instead, if that feels better. And then returning. Remember your adaptations. You could do this instead if you prefer. So, well done. That's it. And then fold yourself over your legs like this, or if you're lying down, just gently tilt your pelvis. And then sit yourself as tall as you can. So scoop everything, lift everything up. Perfect. Lisa, you're doing a marvellous job. Breathing in, reaching the arms to the height that's available to you. And exhale, press the hands down past your chest. Well done.